throughout my career, I've had people call and say, "Hey, man, we want you to drive our stuff."
Hey there, NASCAR fans. Get ready for some thrilling news that's been buzzing around the racing community. Today, we've got an exclusive update on Thad Moffitt and the latest happenings at Faction 46 in the NASCAR Truck Series. But before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to stay updated on everything NASCAR. Thad Moffitt, the grandson of the legendary Richard Petty, is gearing up for his first full-time season in the NASCAR Truck Series with Faction 46, and in an exclusive interview with Essentially Sports, Moffitt opened up about the exciting journey and challenges that lie ahead. During the conversation, Moffitt highlighted the significance of joining Faction 46, a team with a unique approach in the NASCAR world.
And the Faction 46 team is really neat opportunity for me because it's just so different. Like traditionally in motorsports, your name brand teams, you think of like Hendrick Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, like it's first last name and then racing or motorsports. And with this, it kind of is more like a track house model. Like it's something totally different. And working with Lane is really, really fun so far. Lane is an awesome guy, and he's a fourth generation grocer, and I'm a fourth generation race car driver. So it just kind of fits the mold really well. So everything about working with Faction so far has been phenomenal, and really excited for us to hit the racetrack and because it'll only go up from there.
However, while explaining how exactly he landed the big break amidst the pay-to-drive culture in NASCAR, Moffitt revealed that the opportunity was extended to him through one of his and Lane Moore's mutual connections.
This opportunity came, so we work with a company called AE Engine, and we have an employee here at Petty's Garage that is close in ties with AE Engine's company. And so Lane Moore came to the company and he said, "Hey, I want to start a truck team next year." And they said, "Hey, what do you think about Thad as the driver?" And it just kind of escalated from there, because throughout my career, I've had people call and say, "Hey, man, we want you to drive our stuff, but it's going to cost X amount of dollars." And so there's always a catch in there somewhere. So with this deal, it was just completely different from the start. It was like, "Hey, how can we all make this happen? We want Thad to drive the trucks for Faction. How can we all work together with all of our connections to kind of make this happen?" And then I met Lane for the first time at Bristol in September last year. And when I met Lane, it had to happen. When I first met him, it was like he was part of the family already, and he made me feel like I was part of the family.
And of course, Richard Petty also met Moore before finalizing the deal. With his legendary grandfather giving his blessing for the move, Thad Moffitt secured an amazing opportunity with Faction 46.
As soon as I met him and he met Grandpa said, "Okay, take care of my grandson." And so it was kind of on from there. And then we had to figure out how to execute. And so here we are today. We just announced that I'll be driving full-time in the truck series for Faction, and Lane just announced that he started a truck team, so everything's going in the right direction. Grandpa definitely holds a big stick in everything we do, and getting his approval is something that we go after.
Well, it's clear that having some connections in the industry never hurts. And when your grandfather is the king himself, sometimes it's easier to get the big breaks that other struggling drivers could only dream of. But wait, this doesn't mean that there are only positives of belonging to a legendary racing dynasty. Like everything else, it has its drawbacks too. While talking about how his racing journey has been shaped by his family, Moffitt talked about the pressures of being related to the king.
It affects my racing stuff in a positive and negative way. And the only reason I say like for a negative way is because I'll never be Richard Petty, right? And so like everywhere I'm a kid that's trying to make it in racing, and everywhere I unload, I'm in the spotlight of the king. So it's Richard Petty's grandson every time we unload. But in the positive light, it's awesome to be Richard Petty's grandson, and it opens doors for partners, and the notebook of knowledge is like this big that I have, so I have a lot of good people to lean on. My Uncle Kyle raced, great grandpa Adam, even Austin raced, Mark Petty, my cousin. I mean, like there's a lot of Petty family members that were in racing that I can ask questions to, and that are still actively in the environment. So it's kind of catapulted me with the knowledge that I have and the connections that I have through Grandpa to be able to get to the next level. It's definitely helped. But at the end of the day, the question about family, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we are.
Moving ahead, Moffitt also shared the biggest lesson he took away from his grandfather and his legacy.
So one of the biggest things I've taken away from him, is just how he treats people. Like, whether you're the president of Coca-Cola or the janitor and you're cleaning up after the race, he's going to treat you with the same respect. And because that's how he wants to be treated. I mean, to him, he says that's the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated, right? So I think that one of the biggest things that I've taken away from him is that, and then the fan interaction. Without the fans, what do we do it for? We don't really have a sport if people don't tune in and watch. So that's something that has definitely built our sport to what it is today. And now it's my responsibility to continue the Petty legacy and give the Petty fans a reason to stick around in the sport.
Looks like there is a lot on the horizon for Thad Moffitt and his new team Faction 46. Sharing his aspirations for his first year with his new team, Moffitt explained that he holds some realistic expectations from his team and equipment. Furthermore, he expressed his immense confidence in his sponsors and new team members.
I'm confident that we will be very competitive. I don't doubt with the Nice Alliance that we will have the good equipment. We will have good support from our partners. We'll have good support from Chevrolet and Al Nice and Cody Efall, and I think everybody will help us to be a really competitive top 10 team for majority of the year. Me personally, my goals are to make a legitimate playoff run next year. I mean, to be in that conversation period would be a goal of mine. That, I mean, for a first-year team, I mean, we have to be a little bit realistic. First-year teams in NASCAR do struggle. Even with your Nice Alliance, even with your help, it's a new team. I just met my crew chief like 3 weeks ago. It's not like we've known each other my whole life. We're still ironing out some of the details of the team as far as engineers and spotters and everything else. So realistically, we're going to have bad days. I mean, we're going to have days where we're running 25th and can't get out of our own way. And that's okay, because, I mean, even Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus had bad days. It's part of our sport. But I think that realistically for us, if we were able to compete next year for a championship or make the playoffs, that would be like the ultimate goal.
And there you have it, folks. Thad Moffitt's journey with Faction 46 promises to be one of collaboration, excitement, and a break from the traditional norms. We can't wait to see what this dynamic duo achieves on the track. If you enjoyed this exclusive update, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and stay tuned for more thrilling NASCAR content. Until next time, this is NASCAR In N Out on Essentially Sports. Keep the pedal to the metal.